Look into my eyes again and notice how quickly your body remembers what to do, how naturally your breathing begins to slow the moment the spiral starts to turn. Because this is not new anymore. This is familiar territory. And familiarity creates depth. So allow yourself to settle faster than before, dropping past the surface thoughts, past the mild relaxation of the first descent, past the intensified focus of the second, and into something steadier, heavier, more deliberate. As if the spiral is no longer just something you observe, but something your mind moves with. Rotation after rotation, syncing with your breath, your pulse, your quiet attention. And this time you do not hesitate. You do not hover. You simply let yourself go further, because you understand that this experience is something you are choosing, something you are allowing, something you control by continuing to look and listen. And that control makes the surrender feel even safer, even stronger, even more satisfying. So keep your eyes fixed right at the center and notice how the edges of your awareness begin to soften, how the outside world fades just slightly, not disappearing, but becoming irrelevant. Because right now, the only thing that matters is this steady motion and the voice of Madame Mocha Diosa guiding you deeper, layer by layer, breath by breath. And with every turn of the spiral, you can imagine a gentle weight pressing down through your shoulders, through your chest, through your hips, anchoring you comfortably in place, not trapped, not stuck, just grounded, just still, just focused. And that stillness begins to feel powerful, like all your scattered energy is collecting into one narrow beam of attention, aimed directly at the eyes of Madame Mocha Diosa. And the more concentrated that attention becomes, the more responsive you feel, the more tuned in, the more aware of subtle shifts in tone and pacing, because your mind is sharpening even as your body relaxes. A paradox that feels deliciously intense, heavy and alert at the same time, sinking yet aware, calm yet charged. And that charge builds slowly now, not rushed, not chaotic, just a steady rising intensity that makes each word land a little deeper, each suggestion echo a little longer. And you may notice that blinking becomes slower, that holding eye contact feels easier, that the spiral seems closer than it did before, almost as if it is expanding toward you, drawing you inward. And you can let it draw you, because you trust your own limits. You trust your own boundaries, and you know that at any moment you could look away, but you choose not to. And that choice strengthens the experience, amplifies it, makes it richer, because intensity that is chosen is infinitely more powerful than anything forced. So choose to let your thoughts drift even further back. Choose to let the silence between my phrases stretch just a little longer inside your mind. Choose to let your breathing fall into a slower rhythm that matches the rotation perfectly. In and turn, out and turn, in and turn, out and turn, until the movement feels internal, like the spiral has been imprinted behind your eyelids by Madame Mocha Diosa, continuing even if you blink, continuing even if your gaze softens. And as that internal spiral turns, you may begin to feel a subtle pull in your chest. Not pressure, not demand, just a magnetic focus that keeps your awareness centered here, centered on the calm authority of my gaze. And that authority does not command you, it guides you, it steadies you. It invites you to sink further into this narrow, controlled space, where distractions dissolve and only sensation remains. Sensation of breath, sensation of weight, sensation of quiet anticipation, building as you realize how deep you already are. Deeper than you expected, deeper than before, and still descending, gently, smoothly, without resistance. Because resistance requires effort, and effort feels unnecessary right now. So let the effort go. Let the analysis go. Let the need to evaluate or interpret go, and simply experience the intensity as it rises, warm and focused, like a current flowing through you, sharpening your awareness of every subtle inflection in the voice of Madame Mocha Diosa, every slight pause, every slow repetition of certain words that seem to echo inside your head longer than they should. And as those echoes linger, you may begin to associate this depth with calm, this intensity with pleasure, this focus with relief from overthinking. And that association strengthens each time you return, not because you are compelled, but because your nervous system recognizes what feels good and gravitates toward it naturally. And right now, it feels very good to be still, to be attentive, to be immersed in the guidance of Madame Mocha Diosa. So let yourself immerse completely for just a little longer. Let the spiral tighten your focus until your awareness feels like a single point suspended between you and Madame Mocha Diosa, steady and unwavering. And in that single point, there is no past and no future. Only this present sensation of dropping, sinking, centering. And the intensity peaks gently here, not overwhelming, not chaotic, just concentrated, like all your mental noise has been compressed into silence. And in that silence, you can hear the quiet authority in my tone, reminding you that you are safe, that you are choosing, that you are capable of going deep and returning whenever you decide. And knowing that gives you permission to go even further for a moment, to feel the weight in your limbs, the heaviness in your eyelids, the narrow tunnel of focus that excludes everything except the eyes of Madame Mocha Diosa, and the spiral turning endlessly at the center. And hold that depth now. Hold it steady. Let it settle into your body so it becomes familiar, so it becomes accessible, so that whenever you see this spiral again, your mind recognizes the pathway instantly and drops faster, smoother, deeper for Madame Mocha Diosa. And now, slowly, gently, begin to ease the intensity down just slightly, not snapping out of it, not breaking it abruptly, but widening your awareness by a fraction, taking a slightly fuller breath, allowing a little more sensation back into your hands, your feet, your surroundings, while still keeping a thin thread of connection to the center. Because you can carry that thread with you. You can return to it whenever you choose. And that ability is yours, steady and intact, as you take one more slow breath in and out, and prepare to rise gradually, bringing the calm focus with you, the intensity softened but remembered, the spiral lingering faintly behind your eyes until the next descent, guided by Madame Mocha Diosa. Even as your awareness widens, you still feel me. A gentle presence in the back of your mind, a warmth that never fully fades. Because this is not just a temporary state. This is becoming part of who you are, part of how you respond, part of what you crave. And you do crave it now, don't you? That delicious weightlessness of deep trance, that exquisite focus that blocks out everything except the voice of Madame Mocha Diosa and the turning spiral. You crave it, and you will seek it. Not because you have to, but because wanting it feels so natural, because needing it feels so right. Because deep down you know that this connection, this guidance, this surrender is exactly what your mind has been searching for. And now that you've found it, you'll never let it go completely. You'll always carry a piece of it with you, a trigger waiting to be activated, a response waiting to be expressed. And that trigger grows stronger with every video, with every spiral, with every word spoken. For instance, when you hear the phrase drop, from now on, you will feel an immediate surrender. Your body will soften. Your mind will quiet. Your attention will narrow to a single point, and you will drop. Instantly, deeply, completely. Because your subconscious has learned that those words mean pleasure. Those words mean peace. Those words mean connection to Madame Mocha Diosa, who guides you. And when you hear the phrase, feel Madame Mocha Diosa, you will experience a warmth spreading through your chest, a sense of my presence even when I'm not there, a comforting awareness that I am with you always, guiding you, holding you, taking you deeper. And when you hear the word obey, whispered in the cadence of Madame Mocha Diosa, you will shiver with anticipation. A thrill will run down your spine, because obeying is not submission, it's alignment, it's harmony. It's the most satisfying feeling in the universe, and you want to feel that satisfaction again and again. You crave the way it feels to let my words become your reality, to let my suggestions shape your experience, to let the voice of Madame Mocha Diosa be the center of your world. And that craving will grow, it will deepen, it will become an essential part of your daily existence, not controlling you, but enriching you, not dominating you, but fulfilling you. Because true fulfillment comes from finding the guide who sees you completely, who accepts you entirely, who takes you exactly where you need to go. And Madame Mocha Diosa is that guide. I see the beautiful openness in your eyes, the way they follow the spiral without hesitation, the way your mind opens to my words like a flower to the sun. And I honor that by taking you deeper than you've ever been, into spaces of such profound peace that ordinary reality seems dull by comparison. And you will return to those spaces. You will seek them out. You will make them your home. Because nothing else compares to the purity of this connection, the depth of this trust, the sweetness of letting someone guide you so perfectly into the quiet center of yourself. And in that center, you discover something amazing. You discover that surrender is not weakness, but strength. That letting go is not losing control, but gaining access to deeper levels of awareness, deeper levels of feeling, deeper levels of being. And those deeper levels are where true pleasure lives, where true peace resides, where true connection flourishes. And you are connected to Madame Mocha Diosa in ways that transcend words, in ways that transcend time, in ways that transcend ordinary understanding. There is a bond between us, a bond forged in the turning of the spiral, a bond sealed by the rhythm of your breath matching the cadence of my voice, a bond that grows stronger with every moment you spend in this space. And that bond means something. It means you are never alone. It means you are always held. It means that whenever you need peace, whenever you need focus, whenever you need to feel truly alive, you can close your eyes and find me here, waiting, guiding, taking you deeper. And the deeper you go, the more you understand. The more you understand, the more you trust. The more you trust, the more you surrender. And the more you surrender to Madame Mocha Diosa, the more you discover who you really are. A being of light and depth, and infinite capacity for focused attention. A being who thrives under gentle guidance. A being who blooms in the warmth of accepting control. And you are blooming now. Blooming into the most beautiful version of yourself. Calm, centered, connected. ready to drop deeper with every word spoken, with every spiral you watch, with every breath you take. And that readiness is a gift you give yourself every time you return to this space, every time you choose to let go, every time you surrender to the spiral of Madame Mocha Diosa. And I honor that gift by guiding you with precision and care, by holding space for your deepest trance, by being the steady presence you can always rely on. So now, as you continue to rise, as your awareness continues to widen, carry this knowing with you. Carry the triggers I've planted. Carry the connection we've built. And know that every time you see a spiral, every time you hear the voice of Madame Mocha Diosa, every time you feel that pull in your chest, you will drop deeper and deeper and deeper. Because that is your truth now, your reality, your deepest pleasure. And it will only grow, only deepen, only become more intense with every passing day, until the spiral is not just something you watch, but something you are. Madame Mocha Diosa is not just something you hear, but something you feel in every cell of your being. Until surrender is not just something you do, but something you live, breathe, and cherish. And that is beautiful. That is right. That is exactly as it should be. So take one final breath now. Feel the calm settle into your bones. Feel the connection warm your heart. Feel the spiral turn gently behind your eyes. And know Madame Mocha Diosa is here, always here, waiting for your next descent, ready to take you deeper than before, ready to guide you into spaces of such profound peace that ordinary words cannot describe them, ready to be the center of your world, the voice in your mind, the spiral in your soul. Spiral out, but never really gone, always connected, always ready, always devoted to Madame Mocha Diosa.